73 Richtung Gerresheim S-Bahnhof über Heinrich-Heine-Allee, Wehrhahn S-Bahnhof und Schlüterstraße Arbeitsagentur. Achtung, Kurzzug.
Alright, so good morning, and yeah, thought I'd film a bit of an update here on the New Balance Rebel 5, as I've already gotten this thing to almost 100k, and I think this might be one of my favorite shoes of the year so far as daily trainers go. And yeah, I really haven't seen a reason not to choose this for pretty much every run this week. And also, I do think that it might be worth doing a quick comparison versus the Adidas Evo SL. Yeah, speaking of favorite shoes, as I do think that they are relatively similar, but they do have some key differences as well. So yeah, let's get into it.
S-Bahnhof, Endhaltestelle, Terminal Stop. Bitte aussteigen.
Yeah, I think with shoes or with midsoles, there's just always this middle ground to find between cushion and bounce, and I kind of feel like this PIBA EVA blend that New Balance uses here, I think basically it does what it says. You feel like you get a little bit of response and yeah, just a little bit of a pop on toe off from the PIBA, but this is still a very cushioned shoe. And yeah, in terms of the ratio, I put this right in the middle basically. So what I think the shoe just does so well is that this is a very, very balanced and very refined kind of experience, because I kind of feel like this 35mm stack height in the heel with a 6mm drop is just the right amount of cushion where you feel very protected. And yeah, also I'm very, very happy that they have made the base in the forefoot a bit narrower. It just feels a bit less boat-like, and yeah, just the whole ride of this shoe, it just feels very, very neutral, but yeah, neutral in a good way. Yeah, you get a ride here that almost feels like it's a bit bland, but bland in a good way. Like there's just nothing here where I feel like could potentially not work for people. It's just, I think, just the right stack height really. I mean, you do get a pretty natural ride and a nice bit of flex underfoot, but it's not like a minimal shoe or something like that. And yeah, I really think this will honestly work for pretty much everyone. Yeah, I think you're just getting a ride here where there's something for everyone really, and there's not this one thing that really sticks out to me, but I think that's what's really this shoe's biggest strength, is that this will pretty much work for almost everyone. As I think, you know, there's just this little bit of ground feel and a little bit of a natural feeling on toe off, but not too much where you feel like, you know, it could be potentially uncomfortable for some. I also think that New Balance just made an extremely comfortable shoe here, and one that, yeah, like I said, is not super squishy underfoot, but very, very well cushioned, and just such a nice fitting upper now, which is really a big change from the V4, which was just a bit too much volume and a bit too wide really. And yeah, this one just fits perfectly, and it's just so pleasant on foot that you really feel like you can wear this one for hours at a time. Yeah, of course, the question is always what you're going to use the shoe for. And I think in this case, the answer is that this is definitely not a speed shoe. I just think it's not designed to be, or I hope it's not designed to be, because this PIBA EVA blend here, like I said, there's just not that much response to it. And with no plate, you don't feel like you're being helped a lot here. I think this is just basically meant to be like standard daily trainer for these, everyday easy runs, but it is light enough and there is enough response there that you can take it on a moderate run or something like that, no problem.
Ebene -1, Rechtsgleis 1, Linien U78 und U79 in Richtung Westen und
Alright, so yeah, I thought I'd finish this video off with a quick look at a shoe that I've heard a lot of people saying that it's very similar to the Rebel 5, and that is the Adidas Evo SL here, which I honestly think might be one of my favorite, if not my favorite shoe ever, at least as far as non-plated daily trainers go, if you want to call it that. And yeah, I think that's where I'll start, as I'm not really sure if this can really be considered a daily trainer, as I mean, okay, I have used it for my daily runs. I have done my easy runs in this shoe, but it's not for everyone, as this is a bit of a different feeling shoe to the Rebel. And just looking at the geometry here, I don't know if you can see that, but the Rebel 5 has a noticeably more shallow rocker. It's not nearly as aggressive as the Evo SL, which really feels like it tips you off the edge of a stair and really throws you forwards, where the Rebel is just a much more gentle and smooth and rolling kind of ride. And yeah, another thing I want to point out is that I wouldn't have believed it myself after the Rebel 4, but the fit in the New Balance is actually better than the Evo SL here. I just feel like this is much more containing, and this is a material that really feels like it actually molds to your foot, where the Evo SL is just a bit too baggy really, and just feels like there's always a lot of wasted space up front here. And I also think that going half size down is probably not really an option, as it is kind of short. So yeah, I do think that if the Evo SL has one flaw, then it's definitely the fit. And also one comparison we do have to make here, and there's just no way around this, is that New Balance's fuel cell here is just not the same as Adidas Lightstrike Pro. I mean, I'm not even saying that it's worse, but it's just different, because the Lightstrike Pro, this is full-on race foam. This is the foam that was used in the Adios Pro 1, 2 and 3, though the 4 did get a different compound now. And yeah, like I said, the fuel cell, this is a PIBA EVA blend, where you feel like it's not too aggressive, but it's not too squishy either, and yeah, just a very nice middle ground, where the Lightstrike Pro is all the way on the bouncy side. This is very responsive, and yes, it is pretty soft, at least in this high stack, but you feel like this really rebounds, and this really bounces you off the road in a way. And this is basically what this comparison comes down to. If you're looking for a fast shoe, or a shoe that you can use for speed sessions, but maybe the occasional easy run, then the Evo SL is just the clear winner here. But if you're looking for a daily trainer that can do all of your easy runs and all of your moderate runs, and maybe can flex into the occasional speed session, then yeah, that's going to be the Rebel 5 here. So yes, I guess the Rebel is sort of the closest thing to the Evo SL, at least in terms of New Balance, as it is a bit more of a high performance foam with no plate or anything, and pretty similar stack height, but it is situated in a bit of a different end of the spectrum for sure. This is definitely a slower shoe, and definitely a more daily trainer capable shoe, where yeah, this is just, like I said, an easily much faster shoe and a much more fun shoe in a way. So yeah, what it comes down to is really that I don't think any one of these shoes is necessarily better than the other. It just really depends on what you're looking for, and they do have different use cases. And yeah, I hope I made that understandable, and hope you found this video entertaining. Like and subscribe as always, and see you soon.